Hey, welcome to part 5 of my 3D platformer tutorial series. In this video, I'm going to be going over a vanishing platform and a speed up platform. So they're both very simple. Vanishing platform is just going to disappear and reappear after a certain amount of time. So if you want it to disappear after 5 seconds, you'll be able to set it to that, and then it will reappear at the same time. Speed up is very simple. Once you overlap, it's going to add in a certain amount of movement speed, and then once you end the overlap, it's going to then subtract that amount after a certain duration. So we definitely don't want it to speed up and then slow down immediately after um, walking off the platform. So yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so don't mind the scenery. I just changed it to have a nice open area so that when I do the speed up, you'll just have a visualization a bit better. So with that, let's get started. Just like all the other platforms, from our parent, we want to create a child. We're going to name this Vanish. From here, we're going to name this Speedup. So I just copied and pasted, so Control D when hovering on, and save some time. So Vanish, I'm going to do first because it is very quick and simple. So with this, I don't want the begin overlap because I'm not going to be activating it like that. And then I also want to pull out the end overlap. Sorry, let's override begin overlap. Okay, so I'm not going to really use these two because they don't really tie into it. But from here, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to create a timer, and then after a duration, I'm going to make it appear, and then or disappear. So it's going to be based on the same timer. You can create two different timers if you want it to reappear after a certain time. I can kind of briefly go over it. I'm just going to have them work on the same pattern, so they're going to disappear and reappear on the same time. So let's do a set timer by event. We're going to do a custom event. Call this trigger activate. And then from here, we're going to do activate platform. Super simple here. Promote this to a variable. I'm going to name this, let's just do vanish time. You can name that whatever you'd like. And then we're going to have that looping. What's happening is every amount of time set here, it's going to reappear and disappear. And then we're going to go into our activate platform. Oh, sorry, forget, you can't go into that. You have to manually override it. And from here, I'm not using the index because that doesn't apply to this platform. We're going to want to grab the platform. We're going to toggle visibility. Visibility, it's very easy. By toggling it, if it's currently visible, become invisible. If it is currently invisible, make it visible. Very simple. Collision doesn't have the same thing, so we're going to have to kind of mimic that. So we're going to get collision, and we're going to do equal. Make sure it's enum equal, because we want to be able to pull out selecting this. You could just do equal, but then you have to set the index number. So like no collision is 0, but I prefer to have visualization. It's just a lot easier, especially for debugging. I don't remember on the top of my head. So I'm actually going to set this to collision enabled. So what we're going to do is grab the platform one more time. From here, set collision. We're going to then plug that in here, copy and paste, set into false. So with this, if collision is enabled, that is true, make it not enabled. If this is not true, we want to then turn on collision. Super simple, quick and easy. Let's throw this on the map, take a look. Hit play. After 5 seconds, bam. Give it some time, and bam, it's back. So you'll see it disappear and reappear continuously. So it runs on a timer, super quick, love it. And if you wanted to do something, let's say, like flip a switch. So you just need to create a second timer. You could also do something like with a flip flop. So if A, you can make it like this. And then let's move that down. Can I plug in two? I don't think so. Oh, you can. Cool. You can kind of do something like this. Um, hmm. So it wasn't really my intention to show it here, but we could do trigger activate. That's fine. Let's do another custom event. Platform. I'm just coming up with random names right now. Platform, Vanish. Platform, Vanish. So once that is done, instead of looping, platform, Vanish. All right. So at the beginning, let's actually change this to 2. Just show the different times. And we'll do print, 5, 2. Just tell us which ones are going off. So basically what I'm doing is every time I call this, it's going to go to the next one. So A, it's going to make it vanish over a certain time. And then B, it's going to make it do a different time. If we hit play, 5 means it's currently available. Awesome. 2 means it's invis. And then it's back. Now we wait 5 seconds. And bam, now it's back to 2. Very simple stuff. We're just going to, that's if you wanted to control when it is visible, and then if you want it to be invisible at a shorter time. That allows you to control both if you want to go ahead and do that. Of course, that means promote this to a variable, and then you can control it that way. Of course, I'd recommend making an eater. This is a little gross to me, not a fan. But nonetheless, that's not my intentions here. We're going to do this. Pull that back up. Turn looping back on. Oop, forgot to make that disappear. Awesome. I want to leave it there. Nice and easy. It's a very simple pattern. If it's available 5 seconds, it's not available after 5 seconds. Very simple. Nice. Now let's go into Speedup. Open this. I'm going to throw in just a different color. All right. So we're going to be using the actor begin overlap, but we're not going to be using the end overlap. I'll go over that in a bit, but we want to do the activate deactivate first. So let's currently end overlap. We're going to activate, and then we're going to deactivate. All right. So upon activating, we need to get the character's movement. So just like we do with every platform, we want to get, oh, what is that, actor? What's it called? Forgetting the variable name. Overlapping actors. Overlapping actors. There we go. Get a copy. Plug that in. We want to get the character movement speed. Since this is a character variable, we want to get the walk speed. Get walk speed. And then we're also going to get that one more time, but we're going to set walk speed. Because we're going to get this, and then we're going to add the amount of movement speed we want. So we're going to need to promote this. Add speed. Plug that in. So activating is pretty simple. I'm going to move this to make this a little neater. I mean, neater is subjective, but nonetheless, just out of the way. I'm actually going to copy this for the deactivate. Let's go over here. Plug that in. I'm going to change this to subtract. All right. And then what I'm going to need to do is, one second. I'm going to need to remove the index. So I'm going to grab this boy, paint it, stumbling on words here. Paste it. We're going to remove index. And then index. All right. And then what we're also going to do, let's see. We also want to make sure that we're not ever deactivating it in case he goes back on the same platform. So that's something else we'll have to figure out right now. Let's go back to the event graph. Now for this, we're going to need to change it up a little. So because I don't want to use the parent one, but I still want to use some of the logic. Let's open up our parent. We're going to copy this part. I mean, the logic is pretty simple. You could just remake it if you want, but nonetheless. So what we're doing is we're checking if it's current overlapping. And then we're now going to, what you can do is you could just do a delay. And then you could do this. Duration, speed duration. And then you could just do activate platform. Or sorry, deactivate. And then you'd have to plug it into here, this index. So, I mean, that kind of works. But the thing is, let's say we ended the overlap and then we walked back on the platform. So what would happen then? Because let's see. Let's print, plug that in. No, I'm not going to place. Let's just do deactivate. And then on activate, print, activate. So if we place this out in the world, so we activated it. Deactivate, activate, deactivate. So it's deactivating immediately. Let's go back to the event graph. That's because we didn't set that correctly. I was wondering why that was happening. Activate. And then it deactivated here. So activate, and then I walk, and then if I see the word deactivate, look at that. But I'm on the platform. So that means I don't have my movement speed, even though I'm currently colliding. And that's what we want to fix. And that's kind of why I don't want to do a delay here. So I'm actually going to do a set time by function name. Ooh, sorry. Set time by event. Plugin speed duration. Custom event. Trigger deactivate. Promote this to a timer. All right. And then what we're going to do, it's under here. Let's disconnect this. Type index. And we're going to try to do some branching logic here. So, let's paste this again. Get overlapping actors. This is going to be a little long. Loop. Equals self. Branch. And then from true, we plug in all of this logic. I know that was a lot. Give me a second. I'll try to explain that a little better. Okay. So essentially what I'm doing here. Oh, why is it like that? Let me reopen. Okay. We're deactivating. And by deactivating, if we are currently overlapping with this platform itself, ooh, we want that's not going to work. We have to change this a little. If true, it's going to get a bit long. We're going to set a bool is overlapping. Set to true. And then on complete branch, throw that up there. Is overlapping is false. If it's true, we want to get the timer. Is there a time? Clear and invalidate timer. Let me move all of this logic down. Go over to our event graph. Copy that. Paste. Create. This is why I wanted to do this one after, because it's a bit much. Then we want to do trigger deactivate. All right. So essentially, we're making sure if we're overlapping, we don't deactivate it. Let's see if it works. Go into here, activate. Let's wait a couple seconds. 3, 2, 1, boom, 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 boom. And we're good. Deactivate. There's a bit more logic that we'll need to actually check, because if you think about it more, this only launches once we've already called it. So if we're overlapping, and let's say we're on the platform for 3 seconds, and then we disconnect, we will, or not disconnect, if we end the overlap, there's only 2 seconds left. So after those 2 seconds, this gets called. So that's something to consider. I'll do an update on this eventually, but as of right now, this kind of works as a nice speed up. I'll do a V2 of it in a bit. I'm currently doing a game jam right now, so currently that's why it's been like 6 days since I've done a new video, but I'll go into it. I'll add some more stuff. Of course, as always, recommendations. Please feel free to give them. Message me, join the Discord, subscribe, whatever you want. It's great to have you guys.